Hey everyone, welcome to Carrie's Garage, and on this episode, it's Resurrection of the 74 Bug Part 1. So one of the things, if you've ever taken a car that's been sitting for a long time and you brought it back on the road and resurrected it, you know it's quite a bit of work. Well, with the 74 Bug that's been sitting for a long time, I had to pull the engine out. It had some issues with some water in one of the pistons and cylinders, so I ordered a whole new set. But now, we have to go through all the engine tins, all the cooling stuff, clean it all up, paint it. I want it to look really nice and slowly start getting it put back together. All my parts should be in this coming up week, so it'll have a lot to get done. So here's a whole pile of parts I have for the Sunbug. When I took it all apart a while back, I just threw it all in the car when I parked it, but now I cleaned it all out, got it all in the garage. Now we need to take it all and organize it. Not only do we need to clean up all the engine tins, we gotta get the engine, take all the pistons, cylinders off, get the heads off, get everything all cleaned up, clean up the case, make it look really nice. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. So here we got the alternator. This is a late enough car. It does have an alternator from stock. So the pieces of tins that go above the cylinders and the cylinder head. The two pieces of tin that go underneath the cylinders to direct the airflow out. Now this is post 71, since it's a 74, it does have the doghouse oil cooler setup. Makes for a better cooling effect where it puts the hot air from the oil cooler outside and not blowing it above the cylinders like it did on the later cars. Now I do have two fan shrouds. One of them has the thermostatic flaps that I need. I believe the one that I pulled off the engine they were missing. I like things to be completely original, so I'm going to put that all back together correctly and have the thermostats hooked up. Got the intake manifold with the intake runners. Going to go ahead and clean these up really nice. The front tin, the back tin, the distributor. Of course it has a 009 since everybody likes to put those on these engines. I'll run it for now, but I will find a more appropriate distributor with a vacuum advance probably. On my 72 convertible years ago, I had a vacuum advance and vacuum retard with the centrifugal advance, and it was an amazing distributor. It made it run so smooth. Do have the 34 Pick 3, not the original Solex. This is one of those, whatever brand it is, the Bocars, Mexican one. They seem to work fairly good. As long as you just make sure that this is sealed correctly, because I've seen those pop out before. And the heater boxes, not much you can really do with those. I will probably clean them up a little bit. So what I'm going to have to end up doing is stripping all of these tins, cleaning them really thoroughly, and then painting them with engine paint. In the end, it'll definitely be worth it when it looks really nice. And while I'm going through some of this tin works, one of the things I want to point out that's kind of important that a lot of people overlook, you can buy brand new engine tins that come out of Brazil, or I'm not sure where they exactly come out of, but the aftermarket ones, they're missing this piece right here, which is a very, very important piece for the direction of airflow for the cooling on this engine. A lot of people don't think about it, but these were all very specifically designed a certain way for the airflow and the cooling, and I just like to keep it the way it was from the factory. So what I will start doing is just with a wire brush, gonna go in here and just start cleaning it up and knocking off some of the big stuff. What I've done in the past is get a big bucket with like purple power or simple green, dilute it down, and just let the parts sit and soak off all the oil. So I'll just start cleaning them up and knocking off the big stuff and just start getting into the process of it. See, look at that. Even after just a couple of minutes of a wire brush and some carb cleaner, starting to clean up. This is one of those double-edged sword kind of things. I really love air-cooled cars. You get the simplicity of not having a radiator, a liquid cooling system, and all the hoses and whatnot. But on the flip side, with an air-cooled car, you get the complexity of all the tin work and making sure it's all correctly put together and there isn't any big holes. I've seen a lot of old Volkswagens over the years where people just leave stuff wide open, get all the different spots, like right there where the spark plug wires go. People just leave everything open and then not realize that holes everywhere equal one big cooling hole and you get a lot of lost air. That's why I like to make sure everything is set up correctly. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of work ahead of me. This is one of those times where I really wish I had one of those big parts washers and a blasting cabinet, but if I can build a bigger shop and in due time get all that stuff, it'll make life easier. But for now, I just gotta deal with what I have. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for episode 2. Have a good day.